because it's something that I've been saying to my brother that we need to.
We're live now, Nigel. It says.
Are we?
And we're chatting about your brother. Hi, Nigel's brother.
No, we're not live yet, are we? You're supposed to pause.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Right. So what we need to do a pause to get the thumbnail. So just strike a pose.
I kind of want to do this.
Quality. Good morning, Love Sales Hate Selling members. It's me and it's Jodie, Philpotts from Blazing Monroe Associates. This morning, wow, there's some energy in the room. Me and Jodie have just come off a network meeting, all for one network meeting, which was with. Oh, no, my phone has just kicked in. We've come off a meeting, all for one, with the wonderful Alison Cotton, another person who brings people together. Who are these people, man? How come we don't know them? We should get to know them. Don't worry, Jodie's going to drop all of her links in the comments so you can follow her, find her, be inspired by her. But yeah, Jodie Philpotts.
I'm going to very quickly paste it in there now before I forget. So I've got a digital business card, so that takes you to like the main ones.
Digital business card, eh? Check
I have so much easier.
Yeah. Can you remember when we first met, Jodie?
Yeah, I can.
Where was it?
It was in Shrewsbury. It was at 4 networking breakfast meeting. I remember thinking, who's this who's just walked in? Because you were just so loud.
Yes, you heard me before, you heard me before you saw me.
You were taking the mickey out of my accent really quickly.
Yeah, because I was from Dudley, weren't you? And I was like, oh, you sound like one of my mates. You do. You one of the wenches from up by Neverton.
As soon as you said you were in Rowley, I was like, oh, that's it. I'm in good hands here. My mum's from Rowley originally, so it's all cool.
Rowley massive, we are here. Right, guys, let's get started because I know you're a busy lady, Jodie. You've just told me about your schedule and you've got things, and I know you've got drilling going on at home and you've got shopping being delivered.
Drilling, shopping arriving.
Wow, how do you cope with it all? So let's get started. So, Jodie, please tell us, what do you do for a business?
Okay, so my business is Blazing Monroe Associates, as you can see there. And what that does is I look after people's business minds and money. So through coaching, business coaching, mentoring and accountancy, I make sure everything is working as it should be. Wow,
that's fantastic. I've got to say, I'm loving your logo. That's really cool. The backdrop and everything. Is that one of these like posh green screen things that people can get their hands on?
So I've got a green screen, but my logo is the work of the amazing Nick Watts from Depict Creative. So Nick created my whole branding, but it's more than a logo. So I've got like things that I can use. So I've got my fonts, so I know what fonts to use and how to use them. That's one of my brand images. So I created the backdrop, but I was only able to do that so well because he's given me like these amazing tools.
The full kind of package.
Yeah, and if I do it wrong, he will tell me. So my first backdrop, the logo was smaller, and he told me where to bring the logo out to and everything, and it was just it's
fantastic.
It's right now, I think.
Have you heard that, guys? We have a brand expert. I think Nick joined the group this morning. So if brand is something you're looking to do, Nick is one of the good guys out there. He's very good, which means that his prices are real prices, not pretend prices.
You know what the thing is with Nick's prices, though, quickly, I know this is about my stuff, but with Nick's prices, what I say is, even when people think, I can't afford that, flip it, you can't afford not to have a good brand. It's that simple. Like, my brand gives me so much confidence when I'm putting stuff out there. So yeah, you just can't not afford to have it. Really.
It's what I would say is it's your forever brand. Which
means it is.
Whatever you pay now, in 10 years' time, if you're still using that brand, it's paid for itself 10,000 times over. So,
absolutely.
But anyway, enough about Nick, because I'm gonna ask Nick to do an interview.
Get him in.
Anyway.
Get him in.
And he can do all this stuff. So so I mean, Jodie, because when I met you, you were a beautician.
I had a beauty business, yeah.
That's right. Now I know on the grapevine, obviously, with what's happened, but I mean, what inspired you to start this business? I mean, are you still running the beauty business, or?
No, it's really funny because anybody who knows me from my initial days of networking knows me for Go Glamorous, which was my beauty business.
That's it, Go Glamorous. I remember it well.
I've still got a hoodie somewhere with it on. I'll have to send it.
I love that.
But the the beauty business was only like the smallest part of like any of my career history, and it was literally just a case of I spent a long time in local government and prior to that I'd worked in industry selling nuts and bolts. Oh. So basically selling screws. So yeah, so I
just the way you say it, love, it's the way you say it.
So and I was being made redundant from that job, and I wanted to just do something completely different. I was used to how businesses run because I'd been brought up with a family business, so I kind of knew that. And I loved like having my nails done and stuff like that. So I just thought, oh, I'll just do that. I could do it around the kids. You know, it worked. But it was only for a really short period of time that I did it. But because I hit it really hard with, again, with some brand, I had good branding for Go Go Glamorous. I paid to have that done. So people knew who I was very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's what they remember. But actually, my career history is like, that's the tiniest part of it. And I very quickly realised that as much as I love having massages and having my nails done, giving them isn't quite the same. So
yeah, I'll vouch for that.
Yeah, it is not the same.
Yeah.
It is not the same. So yeah, it was just a very small part of it. But it was great because at the time, I wasn't sure where I was going with things I wanted to do. I'd had very, very, very bad mental health. And it was a case of starting a business because I wanted to be working. And I didn't feel I could work for somebody else. I needed to fit around the kids I've got at the time. My son was under 1. So yeah, it was a case of, he might have just turned 1, but he was only very little. I've been to networking meetings with him like when he's been tiny. So yeah, so it was just a case of something I could do to fit around the family at the time until I figured out exactly what direction I was going to go in.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. So what have been some of the challenges that you've had to overcome?
So during my life, I think
whoa, okay.
During life or during COVID?
Well, I'd say business challenges, I suppose.
Yeah, so I think business challenges for me it was all stuff that was in my own head. Like I mentioned, I suffered like really severe mental health issues, and when you would have met me, I was still getting well.
Okay.
That was very early on in my getting well phase. I think I was about 3 or 4 months into really trying to fix things that were very badly broken.
Yeah.
And I used part of the business as to do that. That I had no self-esteem, I had no self-worth, I had no self-confidence, but nobody knew this because I present as somebody who was so confident, so bubbly, always smiling, which was why my mental health went undetected from anybody for such a long time. Nobody had any idea. So for me, it was things like putting myself out there and saying, I'm good at what I do, I'm good at this, and not being bothered by anybody else's opinion was a real challenge.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's one of the biggest challenges I work with a lot of my clients with now. It's always they're worried about putting something out there, or they've not took ownership that they're the expert in their field, because they see other people and compare themselves all the time. So that's something I work with people on so much. I don't compare myself to any business coach now.
The only person you need to compete with is yourself.
Yeah. You know what? It's so true. And I learned that really, really from a young age, because I'm not competitive with other people. Like I never have been. Don't get me wrong. Like anybody, I'm human. I sometimes see somebody else's stuff and go, oh, wow, that's really good. Yeah. Oh, God. And for a second you go, oh, that's normal. Like that's absolutely normal. But it's when you see other people's stuff and you start knocking yourself down and thinking you're not as good at something because they do it in a particular way. I don't work the same way as anybody else. I don't attract the same clients, and that's cool because those people attract the clients that suit them. I'll attract the ones that suit me.
Exactly.
So there's no point in comparing.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, what we should all really do is when we see competitors and what they do is be motivated by it, be inspired by it. You know, I think one of the biggest challenges what a lot of people face, and again, you'll probably come across this, is that kind of, oh, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. That stops so many people from actually making moves. And it's a big frustration for me. but I used to kind of be the same. But to be fair, you know, I'm no artist. I'm not brilliant at all these things, but I just get things done, make it happen. Boom, boom, boom.
It's better that you do it and you put it out there.
Yeah.
Then you never put it out there. Like
exactly.
I do a whole talk on now is the right time.
Yeah.
Because there's always these reasons why you don't do things, and quite frankly, they're bullshit. It's just what you're telling yourself. So mine was, I could never be a speaker because of the way I talk, was one of my things. Actually, what it was I was too scared to put myself out there, because then I was having to take ownership that I knew what I was talking about.
I'm always talking.
Somebody might question that. But
I'm always talking. What do you mean I struggle to be a speaker? But
to stand on a stage at that time, like I went to network meetings where I struggled to say my own name without my hands sweating and myself, and I'd be shaking.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to find these excuses of why you can't do it. Somebody's, you know, you're never qualified enough.
Yeah.
Now, unless you're slicing somebody's brain open because you're a brain surgeon, generally, you've done the qualifications that you need, or you've got the life experience you need to be able to be good at what you do. It's not always about having a piece of paper.
Yeah, I think that can kind of give others, and it's that inferiority complex that we all sometimes have. Is it's like, oh, well, he's got letters after his name, therefore. And the reality is, like you've said earlier, people buy from people. They buy from the ones they want to work with. They talk to the people they trust and they like, and they feel, oh, I can get on their level. And you know, and what, a lot of what you said, I completely understand. You know, please don't anyone think that I was born with this confidence. Please don't think that, you know, I could do this from day one. This has taken me a lot of time to get to the level where doing a live and it's like, whoa, let's get on there. Blah, blah, blah. You know, it is a bit of practice. I don't always get it perfect, but yeah, it's just do it.
But shall I tell you about the first time I did any public speaking? Because this is because one of the things people assume about me all the time is that I was just, like you say, born with this huge amount of confidence, and that I never have days where I go, oh, I've got to do that today. Shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when I came to do my first presentation, I picked somewhere that was nowhere near where I lived, so that there wouldn't be people that I knew. For a start, I had a notebook with loads of notes on that I was like, I had the night before I was with a friend and I said, right, I just want to run through it. And literally I sat there and I've never been speechless in my life, as in like actually can't speak until that moment. I could not. I was trying to get the words out, and every time I looked at the first word, I was like, and I just couldn't speak, and I just went to pieces. Absolutely couldn't do it. And then I did it, and it was like, oh, and literally, I'll tell you now, it wiped me out. I was exhausted from the emotional drain of it. But it was one of them things I wanted to be able to do, so I just kept doing more of it and more of it, and then taking people's feedback. Now, I remember somebody saying to me about smiling. Now, I have like a proper resting bitch face. If I'm not smiling, I look like I'm going to bury you and like hit you with a spade.
Oh, dear God, let's have a look at your resting bitch face. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. Please.
Literally like the mafia. So I have to smile, because otherwise, if I'm delivering a message and I'm like literally not smiling, I look really intense and really scary. So
okay.
I always try and remember now when I'm presenting to obviously smile. And generally, I am smile because I'm enjoying it. That's
actually the first time that I've actually seen that resting bitch face. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, because I don't do it.
Oh, I've never seen it.
No,
I tell you what, people have got so many layers, haven't they?
Like an onion.
So, what advice would you give somebody who wanted to start a business today, this month, post-COVID? What would be some advice, some tips that you'd give somebody who's looking to start a business?
First of all, I would not listen to Dave down the pub, for one, because this is the biggest thing. People are going to start a business, so they talk to Dave down the pub and he'll advise them on how to price their services. You know, they should be a bit cheaper than everybody else, because then they're going to get the business, which we all know is just crap, and it's like the worst methodology you could ever use. But so he'll tell them that to start with. Then he'll tell them that, you know, they need to work all these hours in the first year. They've got to be working so many hours because obviously they've got to get clients. forgetting the bit that if they do that, they're just going to be knackered and probably no good and not doing great work anyway. Then obviously he's going to be able to advise them on how to run their books and their accountancy, because he's, you know, he does this, and what he does is he's get his missus to do it, and then she fills his tax return out, but he forgets that she doesn't know about all the sort of tax savings they could make because they're married or because of this and because of that. So he's losing a load of money that he doesn't even know he's losing. So this is what people do all the time. And we just listened to Nick again talk about design. He gets, you know, somebody's son's good on the computer, so they knock him a logo up and, you know, all this sort of stuff. I think the biggest thing is look at what you want to do. How are you going to deliver it, and how are you going to charge for it? What is your time worth? Because I can remember setting the beauty business up and somebody saying to me, well, why aren't you doing nail extensions? Everybody loves nail extensions. You should do nail extensions. And I said, I'm not doing them because I hate doing them, first. And secondly, the money for nail extensions in the industry is crap because of the way it's been driven down by people, you know, buying a little kit from Argos or off Amazon, and all of a sudden they're a nail expert. That doesn't matter that they'll give somebody like some nasty nail infection. But that's really driven the price down. And I was never going to be wanting to compete with that. It just was like, I hated doing them. And I realised I could make far more money doing other services that were more specialist that other people didn't offer. But if I'd have listened to Dave down the pub types, I would have offered every single service and been like, all right at all of them. Whereas instead, I actually specialised in intimate waxing. And the reason I did it was because there was nobody else specialising in it. So I could name my price.
So have you heard that, guys? If Dave down the pub is giving you some advice, it's probably best to obviously be polite to Dave and say, thank you very much, mate. But unless Dave's running his own business.
Even if he's running his own business, it ain't your business.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Very true.
So just be really, really careful. And there's one thing I say to somebody all the time. Somebody said to me the other day about so-and-so said that I wasn't talking about this enough in my post, blah, blah, blah. And my question was, firstly, are they an expert in the field of social media marketing? Secondly, would you trust them for advice? Would you go to them and pay them for their advice? And if the answer to those are no, like, I'm sorry, but no, I'm out.
And that's the thing. It's one of those, isn't it? So, right. Is there anything that the group can help you with right now?
Well, we've got a lovely Blazing Business Collective, which is it's more like a networking online group. What we do in there is, it started off, I run a networking meeting where people come along for free and network. You've been there, you know what it's like. We've got to get
very good, guys.
We've got to get you to do a talk as well.
And they do some fantastic Kinver, Kidderminster.
Yeah, when we're live.
All the nice places in the world.
Yes, when we're live, we're in Kimber. But yeah, so if people want to be part of that group, that's lovely because it's a really supportive group. Everybody gets to know, but it's just a nice networking environment. So if people want to join there, that's fine. Otherwise, if they just want to follow some of my stuff, and you know, that's cool. I'm very open to connecting with people on like LinkedIn and having one-to-ones with people. I like finding out what they do, because with what I do in the coaching and mentoring side, I get asked all the time for like different services, and there's a lot that I've got. But like the other day I met somebody and she does she's a specialist in the menopause.
Oh wow.
Which might not sound like that would be connected to me, but if I'm working with somebody of that age group and they're saying to me, well, this is happening, that's happening, and I'm aware of some of it might be that I can then say, well, there's a lady who specialises in that.
Absolutely.
Blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
But the other thing, the other thing I'm doing right now is on merchandise.
So one can get a Jodie t-shirt with your face on, or?
Well, not with my face on. I mean, that would be a bit weird. I mean, if somebody wants that, if somebody really wants that, I could speak to Nick.
That's a premium price, though, surely.
That'd be $35.99. But no, so this is one of the designs. I'm going to stand up a little bit. So this is the first one. This says, I'm no glow stick, I do not fade.
Okay.
And these aren't sayings that I've got off Google or anything like that. They're my sayings. So when I present or when I coach people, I tend to come out with like some random things. So I started writing them down.
Brilliant.
And these are the things that are on my merchandise. This is one of them as well. This is what I live by, always when, never if. So if I decide I want to do something, I never say if I'm going to do it. It's when I'm going to do it.
Oh, love it. Power.
So that's on some of my stuff. That it's all like really wearable. There's hoodies, there's guys stuff, there's bottles. So 1st of July that's hitting. So I'd love it if you all had a little look. And
well, obviously you're in the group. Most certainly, there is a post. There is actually a unit where you can post announcements about your business. So as soon as you go live, we'll have a talk before then, but just go back on there, put all your links on there, put a few photos so people can see. When this live finishes, please add your links into the comments so people can go back and have a look and follow you. Follow your breadcrumbs to where you live. Quack, quack.
Cookie crumbs, vegan cookie crumbs in my hands.
Cookie crumbs. Okay, I'm just gonna, because right now, because we're on Zoom, I can't see comments, so I'm just gonna go through the comments that I've got on my phone. So yeah, good morning, Glenn. Hi, good to see you, mate. Kerry, hi, Kerry. Hope you're well. Good morning, Jason Daly. Nelson Rodriguez is laughing and he said, sales, sales, sales. Nick Watts, much love, guys. Hey, Nick, we love you too, man. We love you too, Nick. He's calling me. Hey, weren't he stern this morning?
It can be better. You know what? With his design, he's very serious.
Oh, he was stern, man. I was
like, very serious.
I wasn't sure. I only started smiling after he got to his third kind of thing that customers say to him, but he was so stern. And he spoke a little bit of French as well.
He spoke a bit of French. Oh, that French. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll find out in a couple of weeks when Nick Watts is on here. Right, Jodie, listen. Thank you so. Oh, hi, Alison Cotton. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're more than welcome.
Really powerful. Look forward to getting you back on here again in a couple of months. Hey,
definitely.
Get you on rotation. The thing is, though, in 3 months, 4 months' time, you'll be in an even bigger and better place than you are right now. And it's about sharing that journey, that success with everybody else, inspiring them, motivating them, so that we can all raise up at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's all about, to me, everybody. It's like anybody that I can make their day a little bit easier, a little bit better. That's what gets me going. Like, absolutely.
Honestly, man, me and you we're on the same page, girlfriend. Right, guys, see you later. Jodie, don't go anywhere. We'll have a little chat afterwards.
Okay,
guys, have a wonderful day. I may do another post later on if I feel up for it. But then again, I might not. Any questions? If you want to get in touch with Jodie, obviously, you just follow the links. If you want to speak to me about Love Sales Hate Selling, the program, which opens its doors tomorrow.
Oh, exciting.
Let me know. 8 modules, 4 weeks, and action and accountability, which basically means me kicking you up the bottom. Right, guys, have a wonderful day. See you all soon. Jodie, hold on there.
Okay.